And welcome back to SWBA Today. And in today's episode, we're going to be looking at Friday's games, and we are looking at the key storylines out of those games. And so let's go ahead and jump into it. And so there were a lot of good games on Friday and some great storylines out of them. And so let's start with the Sacramento Kings beating the Charlotte Hornets 125-102. And I think really the key takeaway out of this is that the Sacramento Kings continue to stay in the playoff hunt. They hold on to that 10th spot with this win. They really had been struggling over their last 10. In fact, they were 3-7. And so they got a big win in this one. Sabonis had 24 points. He had 11 rebounds and 7 assists. You had DeMar DeRozan have 22 points, 3 assists and 4 rebounds as well. And Zach LaVine had 25 too. And so that was good for the Sacramento Kings to stay in the playoff hunt. And then with the Charlotte Hornets, look, it is all about them playing the younger players. I think that they are really focused just on this upcoming SWBA draft. You had KJ Simpson. I talked about him before, had 13 points and 4 assists and a steal in this one. He was -7, but still getting a chance to play. I think that with these teams that are really focused on the SWBA draft, it's all about evaluating what you have from a young talent standpoint. So next up, next game here was the Indiana Pacers versus the Utah Jazz. And so not too much of a surprise in this one. The Pacers continue to keep it rolling as they win in this one. And Pascal Siakam had a very good game. In fact, in this one, he had 22 points. He had 5 assists and 3 steals, and then also 4 blocks. So very good defensively. And Tyrese Halliburton has another double-double. So he has 17 points. He has 11 assists, and he was +5 in this one and pretty efficient with a 7 of 13 from the field. So that was good to see. And then for the Utah Jazz, look, it's all about playing the younger players. We talked about Isaiah Collier before, rookie. Look, he's already broke John Stockton's rookie record in assists. He had 15 points in this one, 5 assists, and he also had 5 rebounds, and he was 5 of 15 from the field. So once again, these teams that generally are out of it, focusing on the SWBA draft, and this is what you want to see. You want to see this younger talent play. And also, too, shout out to Johnny Juzang, too, as well. Talented player that played there with Jaime Jaquez at UCLA. And so he's definitely getting some run right now. He had 17 in this one. He also had 3 rebounds and 6 of 18 from the field. And so, again, very talented player that played for Utah, hung around with Utah, or played with UCLA, got a chance with Utah and has been hanging around with them and really getting a chance to play now. And so good to see that with that young man. And so next up, we got the Boston Celtics versus the Phoenix Suns. And so the Boston Celtics take care of business in this one, 123-103. I think probably the biggest storyline out of this is that the Celtics break the NBA season's 3-point record there. That was held by the Golden State Warriors, if I'm not mistaken. And so they had 1,363 threes in the 22-23 season. And so the Celtics have 1,373. So that just lets you know from an offensive standpoint what these guys are doing. And then with the Phoenix Suns, Devin Booker had 37 points, but the Phoenix Suns have lost 5 straight. Man, they have been in some real trouble since Kevin Durant went down there, currently 11th in the Western Conference. And again, just losing 5 straight. So a tough one there for the Phoenix Suns. A nice record for the Boston Celtics as they continue to keep it rolling. And so next up, the next game that took place here was the Detroit Pistons and the Toronto Raptors here. And so look, the Pistons continue to keep it rolling. One of my favorite bigs in the league here is Jalen Duren. He played very well in this one. He had 21 points. He had 18 rebounds and 6 assists. He also had 4 blocks as well. I really think that, man, he's been a major part for this turnaround with the Detroit Pistons. They also have been having some good contributions from their veterans as well. You had Malik Beasley in this one. He had 21 points, and he also had 2 assists and 4 rebounds. Tim Hardaway Jr., 23 points, 3 rebounds. He was plus 23 in this one. Still no Cade Cunningham, so he did not play in this one. And then, for the Raptors, once again, it is all about playing the younger guys. You had Jacoby Walter, he had 22 points in this one. Emmanuel Quickly, 14 points. He was out for the vast majority of the season, with an injury. And so getting a chance to play right now down the stretch. So a tough one for the Raptors and a good win here for the Pistons. And so next up, you got the Chicago Bulls versus the Portland Trailblazers. And so this was an up and down game. It was back and forth. There were several different lead changes in this one. A tough second quarter from both teams, but ultimately it came down to the Chicago Bulls winning this one 118-113. They're currently ninth now in the Eastern Conference. They hold the tiebreaker over the Miami Heat. And Josh Giddey had a triple-double in this one. He had 15 points. He had 19 rebounds. And look, he was a plus 10, and he also had 12 assists, so that was huge. Then Kobe White, he was the Eastern Conference Player of the Month this last month, I believe. And so he had 31.7 assists, and he also had 5 rebounds as well. He's been playing very well. And then you had Vooch, their center there, 31 points, 12 rebounds, and 2 assists. So he had a very good game as well. So a tough one for the Portland Trailblazers, a good one for the Chicago Bulls. And so next up, you got the Cleveland Cavaliers versus the San Antonio Spurs. And so look, this came down to a 1-point victory for the Cleveland Cavaliers. They found a way to get it done. And so, look, you got another good contribution from Donovan Mitchell. He had 26 points in this one. I did have 4 turnovers. He's plus 5, but he had 7 assists. Evan Mobley had 25 points. He also had 12 rebounds in this one. And so you got to give the San Antonio Spurs a lot of credit for competing in this game. Once again, I think that Stephon Castle continues to be, I think, the Rookie of the Year candidate. At 22 points in this one, 11 assists, and 1 steal as well. He was 8 of 16 from the field. Been very impressed with his jump that he's had from UConn. But look, bottom line, the Donovan Mitchell, and then you had Mobley come up big for the Cavs as they take care of business over the San Antonio Spurs. And once again, I think the San Antonio Spurs, man, they are on the right track. I like what they have with their younger core. So next up, you got the OKC Thunder and you got the Houston Rockets. And so how about the Rockets, man, beating the Thunder in this one, 125-111. And so got to give the Rockets a lot of credit. I think that, the key storyline out of this is that this is a big win for the Rockets because they really had snapped the Thunder's 11-game winning streak, number one. But number two, I think this is, we can do it type of game. And so I think that you get a lot of confidence with this. Jalen Green had 34 points in this one. You had Şengün, who had 31 as well, leading the Houston Rockets. And so that was big. And just the fact that they were able to take care of business. In fact, you had Jalen Green. He scored 5 points, went on a 7-2 little mini run right there, and really helped the Rockets take care of business. And I've always said this, and I've said this again about him. He's just too talented of a scorer right now to be running into situations where he has like 9-point games. And so this is the type of games that he should be at when he's at his peak level. And so big win there. And then, you got to think about this too. Like, they kept Shai Gilgeous-Alexander to under 30 points in this when he was -6. He still had 22 points. And then also, too, Jalen Williams had a very strong game. He had 33 in this one. And so big win for the Houston Rockets out there getting it done. And so next up, you got the just can't even talk. The Denver Nuggets and the Golden State Warriors here. And so, look, the Golden State Warriors take care of business 118-104. Steph Curry, look, he had a great game in this one. In fact, I believe he had 19 at the half, if I'm not mistaken. And so scores 36 overall. But once again, another game in which the Nuggets don't have Jamal Murray. And so this has not been a good look for them. He's been out with the hamstring. And look, they've lost games without him in the lineup. And so, look, they got to find a way to get it done. I've talked about this before with this Nuggets team. I don't like the fact that they do not have a bench out here. But look, Steph Curry, he has been playing out of his mind because he's averaged about 41.7 points over his last 3 games. So he has really been on a tear right now. And plus, look, the rest of the team has also been picking it up too. You had Brandon Brzezinski, who had 26. You also had Jimmy Butler, who had 19 as well. This team has really been rolling since they've made that trade. And so a big one there for the Golden State Warriors. And so next up, you got the Los Angeles Lakers and the New Orleans Pelicans. And so, look, the Lakers win 124 to 108. And I think really the major storyline here is that Luka, he just went wild in this one. He had 35 points, he had 6 rebounds and 6 assists. And so he comes back after a tough game out there. That was huge. With the Pelicans, look, the Pelicans have got to figure something out with Zion. I continue to say that. They got rid of Brandon Ingram, but it's all about his health. It's all about this team really pivoting and trying to find a real clear direction. And so shout out to Jose Alvarado, who played very well in this one, 27 points, 4 rebounds, and 5 assists. Always liked his game out of Georgia Tech. You had LeBron James, 27 points, 8 assists in this one, and 2 steals. He was +7. So LeBron doing LeBron-like things. And then Austin Reeves, look, he's had a great season this year, continues to keep it going. And I like the fact that he's cooking right alongside of Luka and LeBron. So he had 30 in this one, +17. He also had 7 assists in this one as well. So Austin Reeves, man, he has been just hooping. All right. And so next up, the last game of the day yesterday was the Los Angeles Clippers versus the Dallas Mavericks. And so, look, Kawhi scores 20 in this one, has 6 rebounds. They're able to take care of the Mavericks in this one. And bottom line is that the Clippers have now won, I believe, 3 straight. And so the Clippers, they are surging right now, and they are getting some good contributions from Zubac. They're getting some good contributions from James Harden, Norman Powell. These guys continue to play well. One of my favorite point guards, I think, coming out of Providence, Chris Dunn. He continues to be solid for them. He had 9 points, 6 rebounds in this one. And then, they're just getting some good contributions off of the bench as well. And so, look, the Clippers, they're surging at the right time. They have Kawhi healthy, James Harden playing some pretty good basketball along with Zubac. And so you wonder, with Coach Ty Lue, is he going to be able to pull out some magic here? Is this going to be the year that the Clippers can really make a serious push here? We'll see what happens. And so with the Dallas Mavericks, look, they are holding on right now. You got to give them a ton of credit. They didn't have Anthony Davis. They made the controversial trade there, but they're hanging right in because right now they're 9th. And, I think it's all about this team just hanging in there, continuing to see what they can get from the others as they continue to get healthy and continue to get on a rhythm as we get ready to head into the play-in situation. By the way, this is going to be the last week of the season, if I'm not mistaken. So this is the last week of the season, I believe, coming up for everybody here. So anyway, let me know in the comments what your key takeaway was from last night's action. Remember, tomorrow we're going to be talking about all the things that took place in the association here today. And so, look, as we always say, see the game, be the game. I will see you on the next one. All right, peace.